Hello guys, another video for me today. I figured what I would do is I'm going to do a quick overview on the Squid League teams and kind of just get my feel on how well I think they work as far as what pitch they're on, as far as the person who is going to be using them. And we're 3 weeks in now, so I think we've got a rough idea-ish on kind of how it's looking. There's the scores so far. I'm 1-1. I'd be hyped. Close, very. I'm going to be honest. Very boring. Boring as hell game against Pickle on week 1. We'll get to that, but we'll get to that when we look at the team. So, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go straight. I'll go in reversed order. So, we'll go with Will first. Let's drag this over so we can see what we're working with. Right, so, Will's team, Jose Canseco, Well Mondesi, Mikey Thomas, the Webbers, Star Moonbeam, Betty Houston, Marky and Billie Jean Blackwood. So, my biggest issue with this team is he doesn't have a pitcher. Not really. He has Betty. Betty can pitch, but not really. Mikey has a slow ball, but not really. Jose Canseco has a right hook, but not really. I assume he's pitching with Betty, because Betty's the only one that can kind of pitch, but he just doesn't have a pitcher. If you look at his team average here for pitching, like, they're in their 40s. Like, I don't understand. Like, obviously he's pitching with Betty. He's pitching with Betty. But I mean, I don't see how that's gonna work. But he's 1-1, and he beat Pickle. And hey, do you know who didn't beat Pickle? Me. So I think he also played that game on Sandy. So hey, you know what? Did Star Moonbeam have a lot to do with that? Probably. Let's have a look at week 2. I'm curious actually. Week 2. No, not at all actually. 2 home runs, one by Betty, one by Jose. What did Pickle do in week 2? Interesting. Okay, cool. So, obviously the Webbers are really strong. A little underwhelming, but defensively, really solid. Mikey, I don't like Mikey. I assume Mikey is the catcher, because Mondesi's way too good to play catcher. 4-speed catcher is fine-ish. But, again, this is an issue, right? You've got Mikey at catcher, you've got Betty at pitch. They're both 4 speeds. Do you not just grounder him to death? I feel like you can just grounder that, and he's not going to be able to run to get to the ball enough. In theory, I don't know. But Wild's great. Jose, I can't really hit with Jose. Not really. I'm not a great hitter with Jose, but that doesn't mean he's not great. He is really good. 100 power, 6 speed is pretty great. 4 height. I wonder where he puts Jose Canseco. Because realistically, Jose Canseco can go first. But that's probably a waste. I assume one of the Webbs. What am I doing? Billy's going first, obviously. Billy's going first. Stick a Webber on second. Stick Jose Canseco third. And then you can have Mondesi, another Webber, and Star out in the outfield. And then Marky can go wherever Marky wants to go. Yeah, I don't mind this team. I just think the lack of pitching is really concerning. If I was to give this a rating out of 10, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. I think that's fair. I'd give it maybe a low 8. I'd probably give it a low 8 if it wasn't for the fact that there isn't a pitcher. People, you can tell me Betty can pitch. No. no, I'm not having it. All right, yeah. So I'll give it. It's a strong 6. I'll give it a strong 6. Right, Psyche. 0-2 at the moment, but oh, it's on steel too. I really like this. Right, hang on. So you got Bonds. You've got Griffey, you've got Courtney, you've got Dante, Tanya, Vicky, Ernie, Lorelei. So, Dante in the 4th round is a bit wild. I wouldn't pick Dante at all. I don't think Dante is good. He's got 7 speed, and that's all well and good, but all the rest of his stats are so in that middle zone that it's basically a coin flip whenever he does something. I feel like, yeah, I think Dante is definitely overvalued there. I think Tanya's better than Dante. Vicky in the outfield is great. Buffed Ernie is going to be great. Lorelei. I reserve judgment on Lorelei because Lorelei is somebody that I just haven't really used. Her stats, I mean, she has no arm, but you could put her with like 2nd, and she's a 6 speed. She has good eye, really good aggression and attention. She'd pick up a lot of line drive balls. Jason, I assume, is in 1st. I'm a little concerned who his outfield is, because Vicky, Ernie. Probably. I hope it's not Courtney. But then again, I hope it's not Courtney in the infield either. That eye coordination is tough. Courtney's really good because having 7 speed with that much power. Does Psyche have a pitcher? Okay, Lorelei can heat her and can kind of slow ball and left hook. But again, not the strongest pitchers in the world. Which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it is when your best pitcher has 9 stamina. And it's not a great pitcher to begin with. Jason can kind of pitch in the same way that Betty can kind of pitch, but it's not ideal. I'm getting really like held up on these pitches, but I feel it is a big thing. I do kind of like this team though. Dante upsets me greatly, and the pitching again is a slight concern. But I'll give it a 7 just because that front 3 of Kenny, Bonds, Courtney, that's really strong. And I'm a big fan of Tanya, and I'm a big fan of Vicky, so I'll give us a mid 7. We'll go mid 7. I've never used Buff Ernie, so I don't know how good Buffed Ernie is, but the stats obviously look really impressive. I've always went Buffed Kimmy on Ekman because I prefer Ekman to Steele. But it looks solid enough. Yeah, we'll go mid 7. Mid 7 for Psyche. Russell. Power, actually. I was going to say power. But it's not crazy. It's a lot of power. Don't get me wrong. It is a lot of power. But it's not insane. So Sammy, Mark, that's gross. That's disgusting. That's a problem. Mark, however, is very exploitable, which is worth, he's obviously worth. Where do you put Mark? First base? Or do you put Mike? Do you put Piazza first base? First base. I think I'd put. Do you know what? I'd put Mark McGuire over Mike Piazza at first base, I think. The eye's a little bit better. The coordination's slightly worse, but I think because Mark's a 4 height, he's a lot less likely. Well, he's not a lot less likely. 3 and 4. I don't think the difference is actually that huge. But I think Mark. You can put Mark at 3rd. Kenny, Donald. He's got pitching options at least. I will say that. He's got a lot of pitching options. He's got Omar. Omar can pitch. I do like Omar as a pitcher. Kenny can. He's a little one-dimensional. All he can do is slow balls. But Kenny is pretty tried and tested. I know he was very popular when Backyard first started with the whole Discord and stuff. I know Kenny was very popular because I think Kenny's really good. Mike can step in. Clanky. We'll negate the fact of Clanky and pitching right now. We don't know what's going on. I don't know what we've decided with Clanky. I assume we're doing it where Clanky is banned from pitching unless the person that Russ is versing decides, do you know what, you can pitch with Clanky. It's fine. Which I think that will become less and less the more games Russ wins. But we'll see. Here's the problem I think we do have with Russ's team. Sosa, Mark, Raphael, all huge power. But are they slightly wasted because they're on Parks? I feel like with that much power, you just don't need it on Parks. I feel like on Parks, Mo and Mike are pretty perfect for Parks. Like they'll launch on Parks. Raphael seems unnecessary. I don't know. I don't know if you need Raphael to even be there. The arm's a little lacking, but yeah. Who have you beaten so far? Will and Psyche? Okay. Who have you got week 3's versus Pickle? I'd very much be interested to see that match, because it'll be interesting to see how this team gets on against a much more solid pitcher. I'm trying to think what I'm giving this. I'll give it a mid-6. I'll give it a mid-6 because I feel like my biggest issue, shall I say, with this is that you've got all this power. You just don't need it at Parks. If you were on, I don't know, Big City, or what else could you go with? You could go Ekman. You could go. There's bigger fields that I think going these like 90, 100 powers is a lot more exploitable. On Parks, it's slightly overkill. But hey, who's going to turn down easy home runs, right? So sometimes just tried and tested. We'll go mid-6, Russell. Right, Pickle, Derek, Pablo, Sally, Lisa, Middleton, Carlos, Sheila, Ricky, Brett. So Sally is unbuffed, so this is wrong. So I need to go by what Sally is unbuffed. This needs changing. Right, Lisa. Obviously, Lisa's a great pitcher. Middleton can pitch. Wiki has a pitch. Jeter has a pitch. Pablo has a pitch. There's plenty of pitching options there. Power-wise, I'll be honest, actually. I look at Pickleboom's team, and it's a little power lacking. You can walk. Say you walk Sally and Pabs. Middleton is a problem, but he's also a 5-speed. So, assuming he's not launching out the park, especially on a place like Sandy, Middleton should be an easy out. Jeter's great. Wiki obviously goes on first. Wiki does Wiki things. I see what he's tried to do. He's gone not overwhelmingly fast, but he's gone for enough speed that he could probably get away with some bases on Sandy. The problem is, it's just a bit meh, you know. I don't know if I'm in a bad mood today. Am I in a bad mood today? I feel like I'm being I'm a lot more critical than I usually am today. But don't worry, that'll also apply to my team. How did I lose against this team? The good thing about this team is obviously Sally. Pablo is one of the easiest home run scorers in the game because he's so easy to use. He's so tried and tested. I feel like Pablo is an absolute cheat code. If he wasn't so bad defensively, he would be fantastic. If you're a new player and you go on BBL, just pick Pablo, and it'll get you out of the little league. It's as simple as that. Pick Pablo or pick Sammy Sosa, you'll be fine. Strong 6. The problem is, I'm looking at this team and I'm like, this team is not going to work for Sandy. The problem is, I don't think any of the teams I've looked at so far would be good for Sandy. This is an issue. Sandy in general is an issue because this team could be really good on a tin can, or it could be really good on a cement. But nobody's going to trade for Sandy. I don't think anybody's going to want Sandy. So he's going to have to stick with it, I think. I'll give it a strong 6. I'll give it a strong 6. The pitching is all set. There's home run potential there with Pabs. Middleton, you can't underestimate Middleton because Middleton will throw some absolute bombs when he wants to. And Sally's very all or nothing, but Sally's been pretty tried and tested. What? So he got home run against me, home run against who was it? Will. So Pickle's kind of he's got himself locked down on Sally, so you have to keep that in mind. All right, Magica. If any team was Sandy usable, ooh, I was about to say it's this team. Ooh. Okay, well, on the plus side, Earl's... Oh, he's got... So, Magica's got Wing and Earl. That's a lot of pitch, too. No wonder some of these teams have no pitches. We're like... They've all been stolen. Like, Stephanie Morgan is fine. Reese... I actually like Reese. Stick Reese in the outfield. Reese is great. Jeremy... I'm not a big fan, but his stats don't lie. His stats are actually pretty solid. Alex is... fine. Just a buffed up Colleen Clinker. Maria Luna. It's Pink Luna, isn't it? Actually, it's not pink. Is it Pink Luna? It has to be, right? Yeah, it's Pink Luna. And Lofton. There's a lot of speed. And Magica's going to get away with a lot more than some of the other coaches because Magica's really good. So Magica's actually going to hit the ball. So the contact on some of these players is kind of forgivable. Lofton's a bit of a flop demon, but yeah, Lofton first round's a bit wild. I love the speed though. So he beat Psyche, lost to CRK. I can't give every team a mid-6. In fact, I'm not. I'm going to give this a... I'm going to give it a low 7. There's a lot of pitching ability here. I think Jeremy and Alex are perfectly fine where they need to be. Reese will do absolutely fine where he needs to be. Kenny is a flop. Huge fem flopper, but it's fine. Maria's great. Rachel on Magica is very scary. Just avoided up Vicky. Yeah, I'll give it a low 7. It's good. It's good. On Ekman. Ooh, it's on Ekman. This power on Ekman is a little bit, yeah. I don't know what that means, but that's what it is. It's a little bit, yeah. I'll keep it at a low 7, but yeah, I'm a little concerned about that power. But hey, Rachel's there, and Maria's there, and Magica can actually hit a ball, so I'm sure she'll be fine. He'll be fine. Right, Yak. So Yak's 0 and 2 right now. Do you know what the funny thing is? Get rid of these two. I'm going to be perfectly honest, I don't like the cans. I think they're a gimmick. Amia, you're getting power with Amia, which is fine. But you can't defend. And he can't really pitch anymore either. Which makes him a bit one tricky. The 6 speed is nice for someone with that much power, but Ahmed, what do you even do with Ahmed? You put him on first base, but he's got 8 attention. If he fumbles, it's a bit scary. 31 arm on a first base pretty much guarantees you're not going to be getting any doubles. It's not terrible, right? Don't get me wrong, it's not terrible. And and trust me, it gets better from here. But I personally don't see the value in the cards. I think Amir's better on his own. I think Ahmed's better on his own. Mainly because I don't think Power with Me is worth it. I don't think Power with Me is worth it. And if you don't get Power with Me, is it worth having Ahmed at first in first round? Probably not. I mean, look at this right here, for example. I'd take Lowy over Ahmed. Give me Lowy round 1 over Ahmed. Speaking of, Lowy, Debbie, Nomar. This is great. This is really strong. These are 3 players that I think are absolutely fantastic. Nomar is a slightly better Cal. He's not even a slightly... Yeah, he's a slightly better Cal. And everyone knows how much I love Cal. Yeah, alright, no stamina boost, but who cares? Who cares? Because the rest of the stats are just all slightly better. So, Nomar's great. Debbie is a buffed up Samuel Middleton, which you just love to see, because Samuel Middleton's good as it is. Yeah, Debbie's great. Debbie can absolutely launch. And on something like Super Colossal Dome, I really like this team. How is it 0-2? I love this team. Frank Thomas, obviously Frank Thomas, got all the pitching you need. Jim, I absolutely love. I have Jim in basically every BBOL season. People think he's a bit one-tricky. I don't see it at all. He's a consistent hitter. He's excellent at catcher. He's not terrible defensively. He's a bit flip-floppy. He's a bit of a coin flip. But you stick him on any on the infield bases, and he's a double machine too. If the ball goes anywhere near Jim, like, that is dangerous right there. I really like Jim. Cowan. Okay, Cowan's a bit rough. I'm not a fan of Cowan. Not terrible. Actually, 12 stamina. Where's the justification in having 12 stamina? Look at these defensive stats. Give me the ick a little bit. I'm not a big Cowan fan. Who is Cowan clone of? I don't know. It'll come to me. Annie. Actually, don't mind Annie. Annie's fine. Right. On Super Colossal Dome. Power. Enough power, I think, if you hit it well enough. I really like this team. I know they're 0-2, but ask me if I care. I think this team's great. This is the scariest team that I'm versing. I'm versing Yak Week 3. This is the scariest team I've versed so far. Absolutely, it is. I'm going to give this team a soft 8. Yeah, I'm going to give this team a soft 8. This is the best team I've seen so far. I really do think so. I think the only reason why it's not a mid to strong 8 is that I don't think Cowan is worth having. And Amiya's a little bit underwhelming. The Khans are a little bit underwhelming. Ahmed will do a job anyway, so it's fine. Amiya, I think defensively could be a liability. See, so could Ahmed, but you can just put Ahmed at first. Amiya, you don't get that luxury. He's going to have to go somewhere. Yeah, soft 8. Best team so far. I think that's a good team. Hyped. So, Pete Wheeler, Barry Larkin, Ronnie Dobbs, Vladimir Guerrero, Ivan Rodriguez, Ray Tran, Luan, Nate, Ryan. I forgot Hyped be Depp. So, Playground Commons. I mean, let's get the obvious out of the way first. Pete and Luan in the same team. That's a lot of speed. Pitching-wise, you've got Ivan, who is just Wendy, so that's fantastic. Luan, I'm not a big fan of Luan as a pitcher. The stamina says 55. The problem is when you use her offensively, you're probably going to be sprinting. That stamina goes away very quick. Luckily, Hyped also has Vanderhook. And Ivan. And Way, quite frankly. So, plenty of pitching options. A little lacking in oomph. Is this nerfed Wonny? This is nerfed Wonny. This is not Wonny Dob stats. Yeah, for some reason, Pickles Sally is buffed, and Hyped Wonny is nerfed. Obviously not in game. In game it's fine, but just on the sheet. Oh, it was Pete Wheeler's birthday yesterday. Wonny's fine. Defensively, he's an absolute nightmare, but you know what? I'm a bit of a madman, and I'm wrong. Don't do this, but you could put Wonny at catcher. I know, one height catcher. I know, I've done it before, and it's worked fine for me. I'd rather have him there than in the field somewhere. Bowie's great. Vlad's great. Good. Nah, he's great. Vlad's great. Nate. I don't mind Nate, actually. Speed is a bit of an issue. You've got some people here. You've got your Luan and your Pete who are like really out there on speed. And then you've got like Wonny and Nate and Vanderhook. So this team average here is of 6 is a little bit propped up by these two. But it's a little lacking. Oh, yeah, the power's rough. And on this is the issue. Okay, right. I think we're starting to find issues now, right? So Playground Commons has that massive fence. None of these are getting over that fence. Maybe Vlad and Pete, if they absolutely get a welly on it, these are not getting over that fence. Oh, Wonny can get over the fence. But likely, probably not. And if Wonny doesn't get over the fence, he's screwed. So let's assume that's an instant out. I think it's a week 6. I'll give it a week 6. I think, again, none of these teams are bad, right? Because all the people playing have been playing backyard for a while. They all know what they're doing. So none of these teams are inherently bad. But I think if we look, I think what I'm doing is I'm looking at areas that are exploitable. And I think the lack of power here and the fact that some of these are very easy to like target onto and exploit. I think this is why I go low 6 for hyped. But there's potential. You can get a train going. If you get Pete, Bowie, Luan. If you can get Pete and Luan onto the bases and then you get like a Bowie or a Vlad follow-up, you know, or you can get Ronnie to just spark it. There's big opportunities there. Right, me. This is a 10 out of 10. I'm just kidding. Right, so I've went for a very balanced team. And very balanced it is. You're a huge issue, but we'll get to you. Olga is very kind of all-in. She's kind of being a base runner, and that's about it. The fact she has 63 coordination means if I put her with second, she will catch some line drives, which is nice. She also kind of guarantees that I don't get a lot of seconds. Luckily, assuming the ball doesn't go straight to Olga and goes anywhere else, I have a lot of double potential. Tony, massive arm. Jeff, massive arm. Cal, very good arm. Juan, massive arm. Jacinda and Rocky. I always call Wobby Bocco Rocky. Wobby Bocco, fine arm. Jacinda at first is insane, assuming she doesn't wander. My issue I have with this team is it lacks in stamina a little bit. Cal helps a lot. But it still could get scary. If a game goes on for a long time, it can still get scary with this team. People will start falling off. Lindsay, defensively, actually isn't great. 79 arm, 79 eye is good and all, but 2 coordination, it's alright knowing where the ball is, but you also have to catch it, and that's where Lindsay can be an issue. So, she'll score me ones. She's also going to cost me ones. It is worth saying, I haven't scored a home run yet. Just saying, no home run yet. I know I'm on Tin Can, is worth noting. I am on Tin Can. I think I had a couple of home runs, probably against Hyped, but Tin Can is Tin Can. But, you know, let's keep an eye on that, because I'm versing Yak. Yak is on Super Colossal. I should be scoring some home runs. Hopefully. If I don't score any home runs on Super Colossal, I'll have to start worrying. I think my team... I'm comparing it to Yaks, because Yaks is a low 8. I'm giving... I know what I want to do, but I can't, because people will be like, yeah, he's biased. He's lost his goddamn mind. I'll also give myself a low 8. I think this is gross. I have a pending trade One of these may be going. Actually, I have another trade, but I think it's not going to happen. Potentially 2 of these might be going. I think one of them will go. And it is with somebody that I've already mentioned. That's all I'll say. Right, Depp, Cement, Chico, Jane, that's gross. Alex, Randy, Kendall, Sean. I like this team too. Ooh. Hang on now. I really like this team too. Chico is great. Dare I say Chico is not as all-in-y as people think he is, because that 91i, his coordination's terrible, but his attention isn't. He's not a bad outfielder. He's passable. I used him last season in the BBOL as an outfielder. He was my left fielder. He was fine. Jane, passable infield. Stick with second, maybe. The arm's a little bit rough for these two, but it's made up because Alex is fine, Jason's fine, Frankie, solid arm, Kurt's great. I assume Gwyn goes. God, you've got a lot of pitches. Do you know what? I feel bad for some of the people in these teams because they've been starved of pitches. Like, look at this: pitcher, pitcher, potential pitcher, obvious pitcher. Like, half this team can just pitch. I've pitched with Chico in the past. He's fine. He's not great. But it's doable. These two are just great overall players. They're not like incredible light, but they'll do a job. Same for Alex. And you need, like, this is like a solid core. Randy's Randy. Frankie, I assume. Is Frankie pitching? Let's have a look. Who are you pitching with? Well, Randy, obviously. Wake up. So where's Kurt going? Just stick him on a base somewhere. Third, maybe? And then Frankie catcher? Yeah, that probably makes the most sense. I like this team. Strong 7. I'll give it a strong 7. I think this team is really good. I think there's nobody on this team that I'm like, eh. They're all I think they're all usable, and some of them are really good. Jane is a little bit one tricky for me, but you can't argue with the I think my big issue here with Depp's team is I don't think he's picked the right field. Cement is rough. This team would absolutely slap him on your generic super colossals. Not Parks, I think Parks is a waste, but Super Colossal I think would be huge. Steel would be huge here. Because I think with Cement you're just blocking off so much home run potential. I think with these two, that's just what they're built for. If they're not home running, what are they doing? But it's a strong 7. I think this team's really good. Right, CRK, Zenon, Keisha, Kathy, Chipper, Marty, Dimitri, Jorge, Holly, Gretchen. I'm going to say something controversial. I'm going to say something very controversial. I don't think anybody's going to agree with me. But it's my video. And I'm going to say it. And I'm going to say it. I think Keisha's mid. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I think Keisha's mid. Every time I've used Keisha, she has been, forget Kenny Lofton, super Kenny Lofton levels of flop. Like, every time she touches a ball, she just falls on her ass. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it's the eye that's forcing those flops, because she's a 4 height. 4 height for me should mean you are not dropping the ball, right? That's why we have height players at first base. Keisha will drop everything for me. I don't know why, but she loves to drop a ball. And then the problem with Keisha is not only will she drop a ball, she will drop the ball, go to pick it up, flop on her face, pick it up, and then stumble picking it up. She's really bad. Kathy's great. Kathy's great. The Keisha hate won't be tolerated. Right. Kathy's great. This is a great core. I love this. Zenon is Great. I'm debating whether Xenon is an improvement on Chico, and I'm thinking about this for the BBOL. I don't think I'm going to go for an early slot draft, so I think I'm going to miss both of them. But Zenon on CRK. The good thing about Zenon is he's very walkable. If anybody lets see. If you're not walking CRK with Zenon, then I mean, good luck, because yeah, good luck. Yeah, good luck. Good luck. I'm not going to tell you how to play, but think about it. Dimitri, Jorge. I'm not a big fan of Dimitri. Dimitri, despite his stats being a little bit mid, does a perfectly reasonable first base. So does Jorge, for that matter. Where'd you put Jorge? Who is CRK's catcher, for that matter? I feel like Marty's a waste, and I feel like Caffey's a waste. Keisha's a waste. Does CRK have a catcher? Like a natural catcher? Also, this eye. Actually, this is a great example why CRK is about as good as it gets in the BBOL. So, in the RBB, just backyard in general. I think he has to be in the top 5 at this point. Probably in the top 3. Almost certainly in the top 3. Number 1. It's definitely in there, right? You're definitely in that conversation. You look at this eye and you think, that is terrible eye. How the hell is he even going to catch anything? Is he that bothered about the circle indicator? Probably not. He probably knows where he's going for at this point. He has decent contact. But again, contact is a little bit misleading too, because he is just going to know where to hit it. Soft 7? I'll give it a soft 7. I think it's fine. CRK will make any team look good, so don't let the scores fool you. It's fine. Yeah, it's very usable. There's nothing wrong with it. The speed is pretty much on point. That like 6 mark is kind of the golden zone you want to be at. Pretty much everybody's hitting that apart from Zenon and Jorge, but 5 is still perfectly usable. Everybody has a decent arm, apart from Gretchen, but it's fine. Plus, this is CRK's Gretchen. That needs to say Gretchen in brackets CRK, because yeah, CRK pitches with Gretchen, and yeah, I don't know, he's out of his mind. Yeah, low 7. So that's what I'm going to go for. Is there anything that's worth noting on these teams? Let's have a quick last once through. Did I give Will a low 6 or a mid 6? I'm going to upgrade Will to a high 6. That was a little bit harsh. I think high 6 is much more reasonable. Psyche was fine. Russ was fine. Pickle. It's fine. I really expect Sally my issue is if Sally falls off, this team also falls off pretty strong. We'll leave it. Magic is fine. Yak is a great team. Hypes is fine, I think, for what I give it. Mine's fine. Depp is fine. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So, that was a quick overview of kind of a rundown on what I think of the teams as far as what they're like on the fields. Let's have a quick look at Week 3, and I'll give you my predictions while I'm here, because why not? Week 3, Depp v Hyped rematch. Depp is 0-2. No, he's not. He's 1-1. I think Depp comes back. I think Depp wins this one. Estimate a score? Don't think it's going to be a huge scorer, but I do think there will be ones. I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1 depth. Myself versus Yak. Yak is 0-2, but I think Yak's team is very good. And I do think there's been some bad RNG in play with Yak so far. I think this will be quite... I'm not even thinking of Yak here. I'm thinking of if I start scoring. We are on Super Colossal. I do think I win. But I think it's going to be a very scary game. I'm going to go 6-4. I think there's going to be a lot of runs in that game. Pickle v Russ. I think, depending on... I don't even think depending. Yeah. I think Russ is going to win. Yeah. I think Russ is going to win that. Why? I think that much power. Pickle will try to pitch. Like, the sweat will be insane. But Pickle hasn't been a huge scorer so far. Yeah, I'm going to go Russ. I'm going to go... I'm going to go 4-1 Russ. Will v Magica. It should be a nice simple win for Magica. I'm going to go... Although saying that... We have a look at Will's team again? Nah, Magica's fine. I'm going to go... 7-1. I'm going to go 7-1 Magica. Psyche CRK. Interesting one, because I think Psyche's a lot better than he has been too. CRK's winning it, don't get me wrong, but I think... I don't think it's going to be any double digits. But I will go 9-1. No, I won't. I think this is going to be a double digit. If I'm being brutally honest. 12-1. I'm going to go 12-1 CRK. The fact CRK hasn't had a double digit yet is surprising. I have CRK week 4. That's a problem. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Alright, this video's starting to go on a bit. So, there's the predictions. Feel free to send all of your hateful messages in the Discord, and I will see you probably for whatever else I decide to churn out. Alright, thanks for watching, guys.